Hello and a very warm welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha with News Tonight, where we get you the biggest news stories from across India and the world. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Thursday unveiled the second tranche of the government's 20 lakh crore rupees fiscal stimulus. 9 economic measures were announced, 3 for migrants, 1 each for small traders, street vendors, housing, employment generation in the tribal sector, and 2 for small farmers. My colleague Kriti Mishra gets us this report.
For migrants, the second tranche of booster measures of the 20 lakh crore stimulus package spells out free food grain supplies for the next 2 months. Earlier, the government had announced free grains to the poor who came under National Food Security Act, but now it has announced 3,500 crore rupees to ensure free food grain supply to migrant workers who do not hold any ration card. There will be one nation, one ration card throughout the country. The government aims to make the card available to 100% PDS population by March 2021.
There are about 8 crore migrants for whom benefit will reach through this free food grain supply. The central government will take the cost and they will not be charged. 3,500 crores will be spent on this intervention within the next 2 months. So I know migrants are also moving out, either they are going back, very few are coming back. Irrespective, we are saying for the next 2 months, they shall get free rice or wheat and also 1 kg per card, per family. Without card also, you can get your rice, wheat or wheat or chenna. So this will reach through the state governments. State governments will be implementing agencies.
Under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, a rental housing scheme will be started where institutions and associations will be asked to make affordable rental housing accommodation on their premises. Also, government will make affordable housing for urban poor, labourers and migrants in all states and union territories. This will be done on a PPP basis.
Incentivizing manufacturing units, industries, institutions and associations to, on their private land, build and develop affordable rental housing complexes. And we are also converting a lot of government funded housings in major cities which are remaining vacant into affordable rental housing accommodation. They can become affordable rental housing complexes, and this shall be done on a PPP mode through concessionaire agreements.
Other measures include Shishu loans under Mudra for smallest loan takers, loans of up to 50,000 rupees or lesser. All borrowers will have a 2% interest subversion rate. This will benefit 3 crore people who are beneficiaries under the Mudra Shishu category. 5,000 crore rupees special credit facility benefit for street vendors. This will benefit 50 lakh street vendors across states and union territories. To create job opportunities for tribals and Adivasis, plans worth 6,000 crore rupees to be approved shortly under compensatory afforestation management and planning authority funds. For small and marginal farmers, 30,000 crore rupees will be added to the existing 90,000 crore rupees under NABARD. This will help especially in the Rabi season and will benefit 3 crore farmers. For middle income group, for people between the income of 6 lakh rupees to 18 lakh rupees, the government has extended the credit-linked subsidy scheme up to March 2021. 2.5 lakh middle-income families will benefit during 2020-21.
6,000 crore rupees worth projects have already come, proposals have come from states. They're getting approved in the next 10 days. What it shall do for tribals and Adivasis, it will generate employment, because this 6,000 crores proposals which have come from the various states speak of employing people, particularly the tribal and the Adivasi people, for afforestation and plantation related works, for artificial regeneration and also for assisted natural regeneration and forest management, forest protection, forest wildlife related infrastructure development, wildlife protection and management, and so on.
In the first tranche of the economic package, the government unveiled measures amounting to about 6 lakh crore rupees in easy loans, additional liquidity and other incentives to help businesses fight the crisis. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
The government has announced that an amount of 3,100 crore rupees from the PM CARES Fund will be utilized in the fight against COVID-19.
Out of this sum, approximately 2,000 crore rupees will be earmarked for the purchase of ventilators, 1,000 crore rupees will be used for care of migrant laborers, and 100 crores will be given to support vaccine development. 50,000 Made in India ventilators will be purchased from the PM CARES Fund at a cost of approximately 2,000 crore rupees. These ventilators will be provided to government-run COVID hospitals in all states and union territories. The states and union territories will be given an assistance of 1,000 crore rupees from the PM CARES Fund for relief measures for migrant workers. The amount would be provided to state governments and placed at the disposal of district collectors or municipal commissioners for providing food, shelter, medical treatment and transport for migrants. 100 crore rupees have been earmarked for vaccine development. The amount will support the COVID-19 vaccine designers and developers to catalyze vaccine development. The amount will be spent under the supervision of the government's principal scientific advisor to help Indian academia, startups and the pharmaceutical industry that have come together for research. The PM CARES Fund, formed by the Cabinet on March 27th, is managed by a trust with PM Modi as its chairperson. The other ex-officio members of the trust are Defence Minister, Home Minister and Finance Minister.
Coming to the latest COVID-19 numbers in India, the total number of coronavirus cases touched 78,000 on Thursday, with over 3,700 new cases. 134 deaths due to COVID-19 were reported in the last 24 hours. The total death figures stand at 2,549. Active COVID-19 cases stand at 49,219, while 26,234 people have been cured of the virus. The recovery rate in India, measured by the number of patients who successfully fought the illness, is currently 33.6%. The number of coronavirus cases in India touched 78,000 on Thursday, with Maharashtra alone accounting for 1/3 of cases across the country. Financial capital Mumbai alone has 20% of all India cases. Here's a report on the COVID-19 situation in the most affected states.
Maharashtra had 25,922 positive cases, followed by Gujarat with 9,267 cases, Tamil Nadu with 9,227 cases, Delhi with 7,998 cases, Rajasthan with 4,328, Madhya Pradesh 4,173 and Uttar Pradesh 3,729 cases of coronavirus. Tripura has 155 COVID-19 cases, of which 16 have recovered. Maharashtra has seen 975 deaths so far, while 5,547 patients have recovered. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray approved 54.75 crore rupees from the Chief Minister's Relief Fund for travel arrangements of migrant workers to their home states and bringing back state residents currently outside Maharashtra. It has also permitted 65,000 industries to resume operations. 35,000 industries have already started work with over 9 lakh employees. In national capital Delhi, 7,998 people have tested positive for coronavirus, 106 people have died and 2,858 people have recovered. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Thursday said the government has received over 5 lakh suggestions from people on relaxations post-lockdown. Arvind Kejriwal said the suggestions will be the basis of the state's proposal to the centre. Meanwhile, the Ghazipur wholesale fruit and vegetable market was sanitized on Thursday. The market was shut after the secretary and deputy secretary of the market body tested positive for COVID-19. In Andhra Pradesh, COVID-19 cases have gone up to 2,100. At least 36 new cases were recorded in the last 24 hours. 1,192 patients have recovered, while 860 people are currently under treatment. Essential commodities are being distributed to families living in red zone areas. The government said pensions have also been distributed. Kerala has reported 534 cases of coronavirus so far. The state has seen 4 deaths while 490 people have recovered. As of Wednesday, there are no new hotspots in the state. Kerala is experiencing a steady increase in the number of coronavirus cases, with non-resident Keralites returning to the state. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has said arrangements for testing those coming by road, rail, flights and ships would be made. The states and union territories with just one positive case of COVID-19 include Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram. All patients in Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram have recovered. Sikkim has not reported any case of COVID-19 yet.
Special flights continue to bring back stranded Indians from abroad on Thursday, the 8th day of the largest repatriation drive, Vande Bharat mission.
An Air India flight carrying 158 Indians from Dhaka landed at Chennai International Airport at 1:30 p.m., while the Biman Bangladesh flight brought 70 people to Delhi. The two flights marked the completion of the first phase of evacuations from Bangladesh. All the passengers thanked the Indian High Commission and the government for arranging the special flights and helping them during the lockdown period in Bangladesh.
And we'll reach. Kudos to Indian Embassy and kudos to the people who are working here. They have done a remarkable job day night. They have been working up till maybe the whole night to get these passengers on board on Bangladesh Air.
We are going back to India. It is all because of the efforts of Indian Embassy. The people there, they have, woke up the whole night and have made this possible. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Meanwhile, an AI 1385 flight from Kuala Lumpur landed in Hyderabad at around 8:15 p.m. on Wednesday. As many as 349 Indian nationals were brought back to Ahmedabad from Kuwait and London in 2 flights in the early hours of Thursday. While the flight from Kuwait brought back 177 passengers, the one from London brought back 172 residents from Gujarat. Other special flights arriving on Thursday include one from Jeddah to Kochi and 2 separate flights from Dubai to Bhubaneswar and New Delhi. These flights will bring back 550 passengers. Another flight carrying students in Philippines will land in Chennai at around 10:30 p.m. The second phase of Vande Bharat mission will be launched from 16th to 22nd of May, during which 149 flights, including feeder flights, will bring back Indians from 31 countries. Meanwhile, under the Operation Samudra Setu, Navy ship INS Jalashava reached Maldives' capital of Malé on its second trip. It will leave for Kochi on Friday with 700 Indians.
My colleague Akhilesh Suman now joins us live on News Tonight for more inputs on that story. Akhilesh, a very good evening. Akhilesh, the first phase of Vande Bharat mission ended on Wednesday, and now the second phase is slated to begin on the 16th. But we also saw a number of special flights bringing in dozens of stranded Indian nationals from various countries today as well. So does this mean that the repatriation exercise will continue in between phases as well?
Yes, it is a continuous process now. Every day some flights are coming from foreign countries taking Indian nationals who have been stranded there. According to my information, Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Civil Aviation have decided that every day some flights are coming, and according to information available to me, up to 3 June flights are coming every day. The numbers are also decided, but numbers may vary according to the availability of passengers, but flights are coming. So, phase wise division was just for simplicity. The process of evacuation of Indian nationals from abroad is a continuous process.
President Ramnath Kovind will forego 30% of his salary for a year and also drastically reduce travel and ceremonial banquets in order to make more resources available in the fight against COVID-19.
A Rashtrapati Bhavan statement said the President has given instructions to bring in austerity measures that include holding off on buying a limousine for ceremonial purposes and reworking the scale, decor and menus of banquets. It also may be recalled that last month, Vice President and Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu also announced that he will forego 30% of his salary until normalcy is restored in the country. Further, he also announced on the 4th of this month that the Rajya Sabha Secretariat has identified a saving of about 60 crore rupees for this financial year through various expenditure reduction measures in view of government revenues coming under strain due to coronavirus outbreak. The Secretariat is targeting a total saving of 80 crore rupees.
Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan on Thursday took part in the 32nd Commonwealth Health Ministers meeting via video conference. The theme of the meeting was delivering a coordinated Commonwealth response to COVID-19.
In his speech, the Union Health Minister highlighted the timely, graded and proactive measures taken by India towards COVID-19 management. Dr. Harshvardhan underscored that in implementing the world's largest lockdown to prevent the spread of the pandemic, India has been mindful of saving lives as well as livelihoods. He emphasized that it was critical to build and strengthen core capacities of developing countries for future preparedness, response and resilience. He added the need of the hour is to mutually support and share our best practices and explore innovative ways to address new threats and challenges in the post-COVID era.
India has provided essential medicines such as hydroxychloroquine to almost 100 needy countries, extending solidarity and support during this time of crisis. It is important to work on the causes of the pandemic and discover drugs and vaccines to control transmission and prevent recurrence.
HRD Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank on Thursday interacted with teachers through a webinar on the road ahead for education.
The HRD Minister said the government will train 42 lakh teachers to conduct online classes. Answering questions on CBSE paper evaluation for classes 10 and 12, Nishank said teachers engaged in evaluation will be exempted from other academic activities. He further said a decision will be taken soon on UGC NET examination dates. Nishank also said schools and colleges will reopen only after lockdown with proper guidelines and safety precautions. A UGC task force and NCERT are conducting research and framing guidelines for academics and functioning of educational institutes post-lockdown. The HRD Minister also announced that teachers who have completed the recruitment process of Navodaya Vidyalaya will get appointment after lockdown.
Relatively untouched by COVID-19, the Northeast has been exemplary in its fight against COVID-19. In fact, Manipur today has no active case of coronavirus. Speaking exclusively to Rajya Sabha TV, Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh spoke about the measures his state is taking to avoid a second wave of infections.
The Manipur government has ordered a 14-day compulsory quarantine at designated institutional and community quarantine centers for everyone coming from other states.
Our state concern is just about to begin. Just many people are coming. Just right now, the 1,200 people from Chennai has reached the border district of Manipur, Jiribam, and there have been going to enter inside the state. First, the state government, we have already stationed there in the medical teams and the security personnel there in the railway station, Jiribam. First, one by one, there will be screened. A thermal screening will be taken place there. Then after thermal scanning one by one, they will be boarded to the sanitized buses and they will bring back to Imphal. After reaching Imphal, they will be allowed to go to their concerned districts. And after reaching there in the concerned district, they will be again screened there. Thermal screening will be taken place there.
In the last 13 days, Manipur has not reported even a single COVID-19 positive case. The state recorded only 2 cases so far. Both patients have recovered, making the entire state a green zone now. The last COVID-19 patient was discharged from the hospital on the 21st of April. Manipur imposed statewide lockdown 5 days before the centre announced the nationwide lockdown on 24th of March. Moreover, people there have been very disciplined in fighting the pandemic. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Fighting against the galloping number of coronavirus infections, scientists and researchers worldwide are racing against time to find an effective vaccine for COVID-19.
As many as 100 research groups worldwide are working to develop a vaccine. In India, at least 30 vaccines are in different stages of development. A few of them are in the trial stage. Among them, Mumbai-based Glenmark Pharmaceuticals has initiated human trials of favipiravir for COVID-19 patients. It is the first company to do so in India after getting approval from the Drug Controller General of India. COVID-19 patients from 10 leading government and private hospitals are being enrolled for the study, with results expected by July or August. Favipiravir is an antiviral drug that has shown promise in treating COVID-19. American drug maker Gilead has signed voluntary licensing agreements with 3 Indian pharmaceutical companies to expand the supply of remdesivir, an experimental drug that has shown positive response in treating COVID-19 patients. The non-exclusive agreements allow Cipla, Hetero Labs and Jubilant Life Sciences to manufacture this drug. Also, the Indian Council of Medical Research has collaborated with Bharat Biotech International Limited for developing COVID-19 vaccine. It will be based on a virus strain isolated at the ICMR National Institute of Virology in Pune. Bharat Biotech is also involved in 2 other vaccine development projects with different groups. The Pune-based Serum Institute of India, the world's largest maker of vaccines, has tied up with Oxford University to produce up to 60 million doses of a potential vaccine. Other companies like BDR Pharma, Cipla and Strides Pharma are also in advanced stages of getting regulatory approval for the studies, while API manufacturer Laza Super Generics is readying plans to manufacture the product.
Countries across the globe are gradually resuming economic activity and exploring new ways to restore normalcy. Even as businesses open, they need to practice social distancing and strict hygiene measures, while face masks and temperature checks have become the new normal worldwide.
The novel coronavirus lockdown restrictions started easing in England on Wednesday. Workers unable to work from home return to work. They've been advised to avoid public transport and instead opt for cycling, walking or driving as far as possible. Residents are allowed to spend more time outside, meet up to 2 people outdoors. Non-contact sport like golf has been permitted. France is also resuming social, economic and production activities. Shops and primary schools have reopened. On Wednesday, beaches were allowed for the public. Residents can walk, fish or bathe in the waters. In Germany, shops of all sizes have reopened. Schools are partially reopened for young children and those taking exams. Border controls with Austria, France and Switzerland will be eased on 15th May. Sports activities, including Germany's Bundesliga Soccer League, will resume on Saturday. Italy and Spain are also taking more steps to resume economic activities, while Denmark has reopened primary schools. On Thursday, New Zealand further eased restrictions. Businesses including malls, cinemas, cafes and gyms reopened. Barber shops have resumed services while children return to the playgrounds. Schools here will reopen from 18th May, while bars will reopen from 21st of May. Switzerland is also easing coronavirus lockdown measures in stages. Gardens, hairdressers and beauty salons have resumed operations, as did schools, libraries, museums and other non-essential shops. In Russia, construction and industry sectors resumed work, but large public events are still banned. Globally, COVID-19 deaths have gone past 298,500. Over 4.4 million cases have been reported. The United States has the highest number of infections, 1.4 million, while the death toll stands at 85,197.
The coronavirus infection may never go away, is the grim assessment of global health body, the World Health Organization.
WHO's emergencies expert Mike Ryan says there may be no point in trying to predict how long the coronavirus will keep circulating, stating that it could just become endemic like the HIV. Ryan added that even if a vaccine is found, controlling the virus will require a massive effort. The remarks come even as almost 3 lakh lives have been lost worldwide to the coronavirus.
This virus may become just another endemic virus in our communities, and this virus may never go away. There is no formal system of de-escalating this other than for WHO to change its national, global and regional risk assessments. We do have one great hope. If we do find a highly effective vaccine that we can distribute to everyone who needs it in the world, we may have a shot at eliminating this virus.
The WHO also warned against easing lockdown restrictions and reopening the economy too quickly, saying it could trigger a vicious cycle of economic and health disasters.
I think this is what we all fear, is a vicious cycle of public health disaster followed by economic disaster, followed by public health disaster, followed by economic disaster.
The United Nations has warned that the pandemic was causing widespread distress and mental ill health, particularly in countries where there is a lack of investment in mental health care. A report by the WHO's Mental Health Department to the UN says the isolation, fear, uncertainty, and economic turmoil could cause psychological distress that will lead to an upsurge in the severity of mental illnesses.
Well, so that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time. Take good care of yourselves and your families.